5 News This Morning starts now.
Well, coming up, 2 people were killed on a walking trail at Devil's Den State Park over the weekend. This morning, the latest on the search for the suspect.
And another muggy morning for us. Dew points in the low to mid 70s, and with that humidity, it'll feel like as high as 112 in some spots. We'll talk about that further coming up.
And the Department of Justice has shut down one of the largest sites on the dark web for child sexual abuse material. Of the latest on Operation Grayskull.
Live from 5 News, this is breaking news.
All right, we begin with breaking news this morning. Sallisaw police are searching for a man believed to be part of a shooting. They say he should be considered armed and dangerous.
Todd Smith is wanted on multiple charges, including assault and battery. Take a look at the photo that police have put out.
On Sunday, police say they were called to his residence on Maple Street where they discovered a person had been shot. Now, later in the day, officers executed a search warrant then at Smith's home near Redwood and Hickory. He wasn't there and has not been seen since.
The victim has been treated and released from the hospital. This morning, police say that they are actively searching for Todd Smith. Again, he is considered armed and dangerous. Police say do not approach him. If you see him or if you know his whereabouts, please call Sallisaw Police. Also breaking in just into the newsroom, we're learning details about a deadly mass shooting out of Atlanta. The station there reports that the shooting happened just before 1:30 this morning. Police confirm 11 people were shot on a regular strip of bars. The victims include a 27-year-old man who has died. His identity has not yet been released.
All right, before we get to the coverage of the manhunt out of Devil's Den, we're taking a live look outside in Rogers this morning to get a check on the weather you need heading out the door. Danny, how's it looking?
It's looking warm and muggy, not much different than it has been really for the past 2 weeks. That humidity is going to be the key factor for us, especially today. Tomorrow and Wednesday it'll be probably as muggy, but the temperatures will even be a couple degrees warmer. Currently in Fort Smith, 78 degrees. That feels like already at 81 with a dew point of 75. That area in the River Valley is the muggiest right now. And again, eventually we're going to see those heat indices, or that feels like, jump up. For Northwest Arkansas, will approach 105, maybe as high as 106 in some areas, especially in Benton County. And we'll still feel like the triple digits even hitting 7 o'clock just before sunset. For the River Valley, for areas like Fort Smith, many areas approaching that 108, 109 area. For areas like Franklin, Johnson, and Logan County here in eastern portions of the River Valley, could see as hot as maybe 111 or 112. So although not officially under an extreme heat warning, I'd expect this is going to be the hot zone here in the rest of the area, officially under a heat advisory. And I think these will continue through at least Wednesday. Now, in terms of what we can expect for the end of the week, looks like some rain chances and maybe even some cooler air, not cool, but cooler air to start off August. We'll talk a little bit about that further coming up in your full forecast. For now, let's take a live look at traffic on this Monday morning. Let's take a live look along I-40 at exit 20 in the Dyer area. Good morning to you there. The sun just about to rise there on this Monday. Gorgeous shot there. Again, we'll talk about how we'll see that heat to start the week and then cooler and rain chances to end the week coming up in just a little bit. Joe and Tiffany.
All right, thanks for that, Danny. Well, and continuing coverage this morning on that manhunt for a suspect, police say killed 2 people on a Devil's Den walking trail this weekend.
The couple's 2 small children escaped without injury and are with family this morning.
5 News reporter Jacob Luthi joins us live at State Police headquarters there in Lowell.
Jacob, what's the latest on the search for the suspect?
Good morning, Tiffany. Good morning, Joe. The Arkansas State Police have taken the lead on this investigation, and they are now asking for the public's help in trying to find the man that they believe killed Clinton and Kristen Brink at Devil's Den State Park on Saturday. But this is what we know so far about the suspect. He's described as a white male with a medium build. He was last seen wearing a long-sleeve shirt, dark pants, and a dark ball cap and sunglasses. Investigators say he was also carrying a backpack and wearing fingerless gloves. Arkansas State Police add that the suspect was seen driving a black 4-door sedan toward a nearby park exit. Now, officials say that the description of this suspect was taken from witness statements and not from photos or videos, but they are asking for the public to share game or security footage that they may have with police. Authorities say they are pursuing all leads and working with local, state, and federal agencies to track down the suspect. 5 News spoke with some park goers over the weekend who had this to share about the popular tourist destination.
I never thought anything like this was going to ever happen, you know, until yesterday. I'm like, oh man, like, whoa. I wasn't too worried about it because I know we got, you know, patrol rangers out here, you know, they're going to protect us, take care of us, you know.
Now, according to the Devil's Den State Park website, all trails at that park still remain closed. We also know that state parks is increasing law enforcement at those areas just so to be able to protect residents or whoever may go there. But I'm going to go ahead and send it back to you.
All right, thanks for that, Jacob. We'll continue to bring updates as we get more information.
Yeah, as the search for answers continues, 5 News anchor Darren Bobb is taking a look back at how the response to this attack there at Devil's Den unfolded.
The first call came into the Washington County EMS a little before 2:30.
Medic Corps, circular first responders, stage for police, assault, possible stabbing, Devil's Den State Park.
It was only a few minutes before a swarm of law enforcement officers made it to Devil's Den. That's when visitors who were at the park became a little concerned.
So we've been here all day. We're from Texas, so we came in for the weekend, and we came up here and there are cop cars all around there, and we were a little concerned, and they said that they couldn't say anything, but that everything was closed for an emergency.
Then the search was on for a suspect.
Suspect is going to be a white male wearing black gloves, sunglasses, a dark colored pants, and a dark colored tank top. He took off in a small black sports car with taped over plates. Direction of travel, went across the bridge leaving Devil's Den and stayed on the highway.
We're all sweeping the trail, me, and I've got a maintenance person with me, interpreters with first aid kits trying to locate the family.
Less than an hour into the search,
Hear yells calling for help. We're hiking down.
10-4, we're hearing them too towards the end of the lower part of the Devil's Den Trail.
by the time police got to where they heard those screams, it was too late.
Trying to relay to the office that we found the victims down here. They're on the lower Devil's Den Trail. I've got two bodies.
5 News first responded to a tip about that large police presence and an investigation at Devil's Den around 4:30. When our reporter got there, troopers would not allow him into the park and did not provide information. At 8:40, 6 hours after the first call, state police released a statement about a manhunt for the suspect who may still be in the area. That set off a firestorm of social media posts, especially from those who were in the park at the time, wondering why it took so long to get any official information out. Arkansas State Police responded to those concerns, saying the location is in a remote rural part of Arkansas. It took time for our special agents to arrive on scene, locate witnesses, and collaborate information so we could release the appropriate information. Covering news where you live, I'm Darren Bobb, 5 News.
Well, as this case develops, Arkansas State Police are asking those who visited the parks on Saturday to check your photos, your videos. Maybe you have some of the suspect and you don't know it. Here's the number you can call. Arkansas State Police, 479-751-663. Investigators say that residents with trail or security cameras surrounding that area to notify them as well with any relevant leads.
We will continue following updates on those investigations around the clock, and so we'll bring you any developments as they come in. Just text the word plus to 479-785-5000, and we'll text you right back with all the details on how to download it.
Well, in Traverse City, Michigan, the man accused of a violent mass stabbing at a Walmart has been taken into custody. 11 were injured Saturday afternoon. Some remained in serious condition this morning. 42-year-old Bradford Gilley is facing 11 counts of assault with intent to murder as well as a terrorism charge. Authorities say he has a history of violent offenses.
Mr. Gilley's history shows prior assaultive incidents as well as controlled substance violations. A motive has not yet been determined.
As of Sunday, 2 victims remained hospitalized in serious condition. All of them are expected to survive.
Well, the Department of Justice has shut down multiple dark web child sexual abuse sites. These sites had over 120,000 members and millions of files. The department calls the investigation Operation Grayskull. It launched in 2020 when law enforcement noticed a spike in traffic to the site. The federal investigation also led to the closure of 3 others. The Justice Department said the shutdowns are a victory to help deter future abuse or production of unlawful child sexual abuse materials.
President Trump announced a trade deal with the European Union while visiting Scotland. A 15% tariff has been set on most European imports. Now that new rate is lower than the 30% set to take effect on Friday, but still far higher than before the president took office. The EU has also agreed to purchase U.S. military equipment and is set to invest $600 billion in other sectors.
This comes as President Trump has been diagnosed with the benign and common vein condition known as chronic venous insufficiency. It occurs when veins in the legs struggle to bring blood back up to the heart. Doctors say the 79-year-old president remains in excellent overall health. Well, the U.S. and Qatar now have a signed agreement outlining the terms of the Boeing jet that's being gifted to the Pentagon. The agreement says the plane is an unconditional donation and that the U.S. will not be paying for it. The plane is expected to be used by President Trump as Air Force One after it gets upgraded. Air Force Secretary Troy Meek told a House committee last month that it would most likely cost less than $400 million for those upgrades.